Hello and welcome to today's school finance training. Today's topic is about data capture date. My name is Monica Paz, lead analyst for the operations support team in school finance. Let's get started. Today, we will review what the data capture date is, reports that you should review before that date, and places where you can find resources within school finance. The school finance data capture dates are posted on the school finance website. On the school finance homepage at azed.gov/finance, you will find the fiscal year 21 data capture dates posted when you expand the fiscal year 21 monthly payment and AZEDS processing schedule button. Once you click on the button, you will see that all the data capture deadline dates are posted for the entire year for fiscal year 21. You will also see which payment that ADM data capture is to be considered for. There is also a thumbnail PDF version of the calendar so that you can print it out and keep it as a resource next to your desk. Each one of these dates that are in red are the data capture days. The next day, an analyst comes in and completes the process called data push. Data push is completed the next day. As a result, the student count reports are generated, the ADM 46-1, the SPED, and ELL 28-1. The week before data capture and the days before data capture, you should check for the following items in AZEDS. Did you submit an AZEDS instructional calendar? Is that calendar passing integrity, and is it certified? Do you have ADM integrity errors that need to be resolved? Are all of your students in AZEDS? And are you getting funded for the students that are eligible for funding? First step is, did you submit a 4 or 5 day calendar for your site? Is the calendar free of integrity errors? And has the authorized assigned person certified those calendars? Student data will not pass ADM integrity if the calendar is not certified and it has integrity errors. The AZEDS Calendar application within the AZEDS portal will show you if the calendar has been submitted, certified, and is passing integrity. If your calendar is not passing integrity, the Integ 35 report under the calendar node in the AZEDS report area will describe the integrity rules your submitted calendar is failing. For tips on how to correct the Integ errors, you can either submit a ticket via help desk or utilize the resources posted within the Knowledge Center of the School Finance page. The reference guide describes in detail each integrity rule and how to correct them. The next thing you'll want to do is pull your AZEDS ADM 20 summary report to determine if your regular ADM that is being generated in AZEDS is where you expect it to be. In this example, the ADM for this small school is 229. If after you've pulled your ADM 20 and the number that is showing on the projected 100th day is not what you expected it to be, the next step is to pull your Integ 15 to determine if you have ADM integrity errors that your students are not passing. Once you have validated or resolved that the students are in fact passing integrity on the Integ 15 and the numbers still are not matching or showing the result that you expect, the next thing you'll want to do is validate if your students are in AZEDS as you expected them to be. One way that you can do that is by pulling the STUD 10 report within the AZEDS portal. The STUD 10 report is a student data verification report. This report shows you all of the students that your SIS or Student Information System has submitted to AZEDS and have landed in AZEDS appropriately. One quick check is to go to the very last page of the STUD 10 and find the total unduplicated student by your district. In this example, this district has 79 students. Does that number make sense to your roster? And have all of the students landed from your SIS as you expected to in AZEDS? From this AZEDS data processing map, you'll see that we worked backwards from the ADM 20 to validate if the ADM was where I expected it to be. If not, the next thing I looked for is if the students were on the intake 15 and not passing integrity as I expected. If things didn't still line up with what I expected, the next thing I did was visited the stud 10 to make sure that all of the students that I think that I've submitted from my student information system have in fact landed in AZEDS. If that number still doesn't match, you'll want to make sure to validate within your student information system that all of those students have synced or published as you would expect. Once you validated that all of your students have landed and they're on the ADM 20 that you expect, the night of data capture, the next day an analyst comes in and does the process of data push, which then creates the 46-1, the SPED 28, and the ELL 28. The 46-1 is generated the next morning as a result of the ADM that is in AZEDS as a result of data capture the night before. The 100th day ADM is what is used for your payment for the following month. So as we approach data capture, you'll want to remember to check to make sure that you have an AZEDS instructional calendar that is free of integrity errors and is certified, that you don't have any ADM integrity errors, that your students have landed in AZEDS, and that you are appropriately getting paid for all of your fundable students. A fundable student has a membership within the first 100 days of your submitted AZEDS instructional calendar, is eligible for basic state aid, and has been reported with a tuition payer code of 1, has a full-time enrollment of a value greater than 0, and meets the age requirements defined in statute. If you've checked all of those things, you've checked your calendar, your ADM 20, your intake 15, and your stud 10, and the ADM is still not what you would expect, then you want to dive in to the ADM 15, which will show you detail of all of the ADM that a student is generating for regular ADM, ELL ADM, and SPED ADM. Since the ADM shows all ADM fundable types, you'll want to make sure that you're filtering for ADM type of regular ADM and that you're also filtering for fundable students. If the ADM doesn't match up or show as you expect, then at this point you'll have to look at the detail of the ADM 15. Resources that you can use to compare the ADM 15 to what is in your SIS or what has landed in AZEDS is to use Excel. Excel has many features that you can use to compare, such as Excel add-ons such as AbleBits. There are plenty of Excel formulas that you can use. I utilize VLOOKUP. Or you can also utilize Excel pivot tables. Some student information systems do have tools where you can upload and compare the ADM 15 to what is in your SIS. Please talk to your vendor about those types of tools. If you have questions about the ADM 15, the ADM 20, or any of the reports that I reviewed today, please feel free to reach out to the school finance team. The school finance team can be reached via the phone line at 602-542-5695. If you wanted to talk to an account analyst, you'd want to choose option 3 and then option 1 from the phone tree. Additional areas for resources are utilizing the Knowledge Center, training videos that have been recorded, hot topics, the school finance memo, or you can always submit a ticket via the help desk at helpdeskexternal.az.gov.